serpentine blade of the boot scraper. She considers the people who have lifted the knocker, jangled the bell, or scraped their shoes, tenants and visitors. She imagines the figure of a lonely woman, creeping like a spectre up the steps, pushing open the door, and leaving her baby inside. Who would do that? A weight forms inside her chest. It's an old question, and yet Marina's body bows beneath the hurt, because she knows she was the baby, and the woman was her mother. Chapter 2. Connie. April 1964. It can't be true, thought Connie, breathing deeply as she hurried along the pavement of Harrington Gardens. She had missed another period, and this morning she had been sick, deep, retching spasms before she'd even eaten. She knew it was a sign, because Mrs. Kalinsky had been sick when she was pregnant. Not that she'd had her baby. She'd lost it, just as she'd lost her husband 3 weeks before that. Some people, said Connie's father, had the luck of the devil, and some had no luck at all. Despite the warmth of the morning, Connie shivered. Having no luck didn't come close to what might happen next. To have a baby at 17. Her father would be devastated, worrying about how they'd manage to look after it and fretting about money. His eyes would reproach her. What about your mother? What would she have said? Yet, to have a baby, a miniature version of him, would it be so bad? She paused in her stride, thinking about Johnny, his blue eyes, his dark hair. She quickened her pace, knowing her father would be waiting in the bookshop with a list of jobs. The shop opened at 9, but he arrived early. Sometimes he left the flat before she was even awake. A line of sweat trickled down her neck. She lifted her dark hair and twisted it into a ponytail, securing it with the band she found in the pocket of her dress. Her favourite dress, short and bright yellow with black polka dots. She smoothed the front, checking to see if it was visible yet. But her stomach was as flat as ever. That was something. Maybe she was wrong and had miscalculated her dates. Perhaps the way she felt now was because her period was due. The blood would come and the cramps would start. She would be annoyed by the inconvenience and laugh at herself for being dramatic. Still, perhaps she should see Dr. Franklin. She envisaged sitting in his surgery and shuddered at the thought. How could she explain to the man she had known since childhood that she suspected she was pregnant? The same man who had seen her with pigtails, had told her she had chicken pox, had pronounced she would grow out of eczema. It was he who had diagnosed her mother. He knew everything about their family. Walking faster, almost running, she reached the end of Harrington Gardens and turned onto Streatham High Road. People strolled on the common. It was a bright morning, the sky a canvas of blue and white strokes. Johnny had painted sunrises and sunsets, copying the postcards they had bought at the National Gallery. Connie imagined him using words such as textured and intense, and she saw herself listening, and yet not listening, captivated by his eyes and the way his face fell into a frown. He rarely smiled, but when he did, well, that was why she had got into this position in the first place. Grimacing, she hurried along past the common before turning off and waiting on the curb as a bus and a few cars rattled past. Further along, a milk float whirred to the depot. She crossed, dodging the boy on his bike heading for the grocer's where he worked, a few doors down from the bookshop. Harry, 17, skinny as a post, wearing drain pipes and a shirt, with a bowler hat perched on his head. Grinning, he lifted both hands from the handlebars and said,